Welcome to my official team reveal for SuperCoach BBL 2023 and 4. This team that I've got here will be the final team coming into round 1, which is a couple of days away. Super pumped. I just can't wait. I'm itching for it. So yeah, I've been sort of twiddling around a little bit with the side, but only a couple of selections here and there go out. So yeah, I'm relatively happy with it. Now, there's probably one selection that might change depending on what happens with whose names, but we'll get to that. So, yeah, without further ado, I'll get stuck straight into it. Now, please remember, I am not an expert, as some people have sort of got wrong, but I do my best, and I do cop it a little bit, particularly with BBL. I'm just here for a bit of fun, just dabbling in, if you will. If you want expert opinions, go to SuperCoach Edge. Unbelievable content they're doing. And my boy DR's been doing a fair bit as well with myself and Scooby Bryant on the Saw Play podcast. So we have a crack. You know, we're not like in the top sort of 0.5%, but we do try our best. So, yeah, we'll see how we go with it. Just adjust me mic. Here we go. All good. All right, so wicket keepers. This one, pretty self-explanatory, but Sam Billings, locking him in. Has not left my team since day one. I think he's the number one wicket keeper at Brisbane Heat. I don't actually have many Brisbane Heat players, but he's one of them. Sam Whiteman, been unbelievable form. You can't rule him out. He's been knocking hundreds, and he should be. I don't know if he's in the sort of front order for the Scorchers in terms of the batting lineup. Maybe he's in the middle order, but I do think he gets a red-hot crack at it. And for that price, I mean, that's peanuts. He will play. He'll be a very highly owned player, so he's just whatever. So, first batsman I'm going to pick here is Munro. He's a lock, 100% going to play. He'll play all 3 games, so yeah, he's probably going to be our VC, depending on other sort of outcomes. We'll get to that. So yeah, really happy with Munro. He was great last year, absolutely tore it up. And I reckon with a triple header, I think at least 1 or 2 of those games, he will go large. So, yeah, he's a really safe option, in my opinion. The next one is a little bit of a pod. Well, not so much anymore, actually. But since Quinton de Kock has been ruled out for, I think, at least the first game, I think Clark will be such a viable option. We know if the Renegades, they've got a double, a single, and then another double. So I'm loading up. There's no doubt about that. I really like Joey Clark. I've been holding him for a very long time, and yeah, he's gone about 3% in the last couple of days. So yeah, rightly so. He's an absolute star. So looking forward to seeing what he can do. Next selection, Glenn Maxwell. Do I even need to go into this one? Probably not. We all know the form he's been in currently, particularly international series. He's a bloody star, and look, he's the sort of bloke that could go out for 5 or a donut, or he can smack 100. You never know what you're going to get from Maxwell, but he's in that many teams that it's not going to hurt you. I'm not even going to loophole him. I'm just going to sort of lock him in. It is what it is. We'll see what happens. Next pick here, another highly owned player that I'm not too keen on, but the price point's really good. The ownership's up there, has a double, so yeah, this is a low risk selection. I'm pretty happy with Philippe. Not willing to antipod him, because if he goes large, well, you're already behind the pack, so yeah, I'm pretty happy locking in Josh Philippe. Next one here, bit of a pod, I reckon. I'm not sure, but the form of this guy has been superb, and before people freak out too much, I'm going to run a loophole with him. So, Jake Fraser-McGurk, love his work, been in unbelievable form. Another player like Whiteman has just been sort of smacking hundreds around. He's ready to go. I think he will almost be in the front order for the Renegades. Big call that, but he will get a crack, and I just reckon he is ready to break out. He's going to arrive, and I just think he's going to be such a great pick with the 2 doubles. So I reckon at least one of those 2 games, he should be a pretty respectable selection and score well. So happy with Jakey Fraser-McGurk. Another pod who has gone up in ownership, Walter. So Paul Walter is a sort of player where, it's a bit harsh. I don't want to call him a poor man's Mitch Marsh. I'm not really sure, but someone that's just going to get a taste of the ice cream in every single line. You know, he might take a catch on the outfield. He'll do a bit of batting in the mid order. Hopefully, might bowl a couple of overs, and with the triple header, I think he's the sort of player that should score somehow. Somehow he will sort of pull out a nice score, and pretty happy with him as that sort of pod rookie. I'm going to loop him, emergency him on the first game and see what happens. So yeah, happy with him. And this next guy is actually going to be my loop. Now, what's his? I always butcher his name. Got the team up on my phone. Chaudhary. Whatever his name is, he's going to be the loop. So, yeah, if Walter goes nuts, then, yeah, going to just captain him. But, look, there's every speculation that he does play. And if he does, that just makes it even better because, well, he's so bloody cheap. And I watched DR's team update. He scored 80 or something like that quite recently, which is just fantastic. So he might be the sort of player that could get up for our sides, and yeah, as far as rookies go, that's as cheap as they come. If he is a loophole, that would be good as well. If that handy DPP and that price, that's hard to go past. So what you'll notice straight away with this wicketkeeper and batting lineup is I'm actually anti-potting Ben McDermott. So I put up a tweet yesterday and copped it a bit. I do cop it on Twitter, but I back myself in. I'm happy with my opinions. I don't really let anyone else change it. So I've actually got 5 reasons why I'm not starting Ben McDermott, who's in 47% of sides. So you can comment down below and tell me I'm absolutely full of it. If he goes nuts, so be it. That's BBL for you. But number 1, the Hurricanes don't have a double until round 7, which is a long way away, which sort of brings me into the second reason. Number 2. Is he really worth a field option having just singles for 7 rounds? I don't think so. Like, I'm probably more happy to field Whiteman over McDermott in current form. I mean, really, his last seat. I know the year before he was unbelievable, but gee, he just butchered it last year. He wasn't really a good selection with a single. He's not going anywhere near my field unless I put the emergency on him and see what he does as that loophole. But even then, am I game to do that? So I'm pretty happy to sort of anti-pot him on that. And yeah, my third reason, as I just said, Whiteman instead for 20k less, plus the Scorchers have a double. So you can actually utilise Whiteman and you get 2 cracks at it. And that's more important than having a player who's really highly owned and doesn't have a double. So I reckon anti-potting him, if he goes shit house, like you're already in front of the pack and at least you get 2 cracks at it, I say. Number 4, I think Matty Wade is the number 1 wicket keeper. So, yeah, McDermott is a wicket keeper batsman, but realistically, I think he's just a batsman. So, if he doesn't knock, 30 or 40 runs, well, the pick's almost a bust. Unless he takes a catch on the outfield, you got to be pretty lucky there. But yeah, if he goes out, it's not good. So I don't really like picking players, particularly batsmen with a single. It's really risky because if they go out early, that's their whole avenue to score out the window. And the last point I got, probably the main point, is 3 out of 10 SuperCoach scores over 20 last season. Now, we'll give him this. 2 of those games went absolutely nuts. The other one's like a 30 or a 40. So, yeah, not great. Not great from McDermott. So, anti-potting him is a risk, but I'm happy with McGurk and Walter as that loophole. And then Whiteman's my cash gen, and I can utilise him as well. If I want to, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But at this point in time, I'm pretty keen to anti-pod McDermott. If you want to select him, well, I think it's fine. It's not going to hurt you too much. But I think Scooby Bryant raised a really good point on a potty that we did quite recently on DR's channel. Is BBL is just so name-orientated. Your Philippies, your Shorts, your Sams, or your Marshes, or like the same players for all these years. McDermott's. These guys that you just lock in every single year, it doesn't matter whether they've got a single or a double, they're always 20 or 30% owned. Why? They've only got 1 crack at it. I think there's some up and coming picks, and yeah, I'm backing in a Whiteman to break out than a rundown McDermott who, look, he's in pretty decent form. He's been knocking hundreds for Queensland in recent form. He did knock 130, I think, against Hobart about a month ago. So, yes, I'm not ruling him out. He's a fantastic player. but it only takes 1 wicket and the selection's a bust. It's not like footy where you stuff up, but you can go again. I mean, cricket, it's a different game altogether. Once you're out, and that's it. So, yeah, at least with Walter, I'm expecting, well, if he doesn't get any wickets, well, he might bat next. We'll see what he does with the bat. So, yeah, there's 2 avenues of scoring. In BBL, I think that's critical. So, yeah, that's my little rant/reasoning on why I'm going to anti-pod McDermott. But, yeah, as I said, I think it's fine if you pick him. It's just whatever because he's so highly owned. So, the bowling lineup, lock this bloke in. Absolutely lock him in. Sean Abbott, it's not coming up. I don't know why it's not coming up. But he to me is the safest of House's selection. Now, I do want to captain him. I'm not going to. I'll explain that later on. But Abbott's one of my first picks, really, in the bowling. And at the moment, looks like we're getting him back. So, Michael Nessa. So, he's been ruled out of the Australian team. I think they're managing his workload, no injuries. So, I think he's almost penciled in to be selected come round 1. We'll find out, but if he's not selected, this is the only change I'm going to make to this side. So if Nessa's not playing, I'm going to go Andrew Ty. I think he's just so consistent with a double. But yeah, it's like for like. Nessa definitely over Ty because of the triple, but other than that, I like them both pretty much. So that will be the only thing that will change in my team from now, unless there are any other sort of rookies or laid outs coming in round 1, as I said before. So that's fine. Next pick, Tom Curran. Perfect all-rounder. Get a bit of batting, a bit of bowling, double. And look, another thing I need to mention is the Sixers don't have a bye. That's really important. So if you can lock in some Sixers players, you just hold them all year, and they're all really good scorers. They've got a really deep bowling lineup, and I love that. So yeah, we're going to back him, my boy Tommy Curran. So it's good to have him back in the BBL. Next pick is Aaron Hardy. Should be very highly owned. I compared what's his face up here, Walter, to Mitch Marsh. Probably more of an Aaron Hardy type. Gets the lick of the ice cream everywhere. Gets to bat. Gets to bowl. Might take a catch. You never know. But he's the guy that I really like, Aaron Hardy. And he's probably going to be my captain. And I'll explain that in a second once I save the side. Next pick here is Adam Zampa. I think he's a really good pick. He should be highly owned. Got the double, the single, and the double, and his form as of late has been magnificent. So we're going to run with that. And on the bench, I got Kuhneman, who I like with a triple. I just don't know if I'll get his score. I'm not sure if I'll have a loophole avenue to bank it. We'll just see what he does. Nonetheless, should be good cash gen. And this is just a whatever pick at the moment. But Tanvir Sangha should make a lot of coin, and not going to use him this week really, but in future weeks, I think he will be like a loophole option, conflict Chaudhary or whatever. But I'm going to lock this team in. I'm pretty happy with it. 24k. Now, no strikers players, not one, because I'm not too hot on Darcy Short. I don't know. I want to see him play first. I want to get a read on him. I'd rather have Fraser McGurk, who's got a double, and then just see what happens. So the idea is I'm probably going to boost straight up and then trade like 4 strikers players in my team next week. And then once, at least I got all the Renegades blokes. So when they have the double, I'm just going to chill out and do a couple of trades. So be really aggressive early. That would be my idea. So yeah, Kuhneman will be the emergency. Walter, emergency, that's fine. And then emergency on Whiteman as well, which doesn't really matter. So this is where I'll go through my captains. So yeah, going to VC Nessa 100% if he's playing. Got the triple. We all know what he can do. If he's playing, he should be in over 50% of teams. There's no doubt about that. So I'm backing him in. I think he can do some really good things. And my captain is going to be Hardy, because by the time the Scorchers play their first game, the Heat have already played 2. So you actually get 2 looks at Nessa or Munro to see, do you want to bank that score or not? And yes, they both play after the Hurricanes loophole in Chaudhary. So that's my thinking. I'll just double check that, because that's what I'm thinking. So yeah, so Heat, and then heat again. So you get 2 looks at Nessa, and then, yeah, you fall back on Hardy or whatever Scorcher player that you want to pick. It could be anyone else. But if you want to captain Sean Abbott or Tom Curran or Philippi, that's fine. But you only get 1 look at a Munro Nessa type. So that's my logic for that. But yeah, all in all, I'm really happy with this pick, with this team actually. Really, really quite stoked and just itching for BBL. I can't wait to get started. What is going on here? Yeah, I'll wrap it up there, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Suss out the channel. I'll be doing some content, doing 3 or 4 minute round reviews each week or each round. So yeah, just keeping you updated with the team and how we're doing and trades going into the following weeks, etc. I might do a bit of podcast stuff with DR and Scooby Bryant on the saw play, which would also be quite handy. I'm bloody struggling at the moment. It's so hot. I reckon it's about 30 degrees up here where I am, and I'm bloody struggling if you haven't noticed already. That's why I'm probably not in the best form. But yeah, check out the socials as well. The Twitter. I do a lot of stuff on Twitter as well, so give us a follow there if you haven't already. I bloody appreciate that. And yeah, as I said, earlier on, I'm not an expert. There might be certain things that I butcher at times, and people call me a nuffy and say I'm sort of full of it. That's just whatever. I don't really care because I play BBL just for fun because I bloody love it. It's great. Great entertainment, especially over footy season when there's no more SuperCoach. BBL just give you something to sort of look forward to. So, yeah, I enjoy it. And the views are down, obviously, because I think the interest is a lot higher with AFL. But I just like doing what we do. And, yeah, there's going to be heaps of BBL stuff coming. And hopefully we can have a really good year. But at this point in time, I'm 95% sure that this team is going to be locked. If there are any changes that are going to be made, go to my Twitter. I'll be doing updates on Twitter. If anyone goes in or out, I'll be letting you know straight away. But yeah, the most likely is Ty coming in for Nessa if we don't get Nessa. But I'm pretty sure we will. But we'll see how we go. That's it from me, guys. Take it easy. Look after yourself. Good luck for this year, BBL. We're going to need it. It's a tough game, and it not only revolves a lot of skill, but it also revolves a little bit of luck. So, yeah, touch wood there. Hopefully we have a really good season. But that's about it. Take it easy. And, yeah, as always, we'll see you guys in the next video.